Hi, this is Mark Sell from the YouTube channel Therapy for the Heart, and tonight I'm with Danielle Soames. She's a producer, artistic director, and co-founder of Mixed Phoenix Theater Group. Born in Atlanta, Mohawk, a native from
Danielle, Quebec.
And also Russian, Polish, and Jewish. Thank you so much.
No
we practice on that word, but I'm going to hand it over to her. She has a master's in educational theater and writing. She's a member of the American Indian Community House Board of Directors. Her focus involves breaking stereotypes of mixed ethnicities and mixed cultures by exploring identity. As a cultural interpreter for the National Museum of the American Indian, she created workshops using storytelling and Native American themes for community centers, family programs, and various schools. She directed at Looking Glass Theater, Dance Theater workshops, Manhattan Theater Source, Times Square Playwrights, AICH,
which is American Indian Community House.
Oh, thank you so much. The Immigrants Theater Project and MPTG.
Acronym for Mixed Phoenix Theater Group.
Okay, thanks so much. And published through Talking Stick.
Yes.
Part of Amarinda and Eastern Door newspaper in
Ganawage, Quebec.
Okay, there we go. Thank you so much for helping me out. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'd like to ask you a few questions. What was it like to produce Smoke?
Well, producing Smoke has been a labor of love. I have known about Smoke for many years. I've worked on it in different levels as an actor, director, producer of a stage reading, and then producer of a full-blown production. I personally identify with the play. I'm very good friends with the playwright Vicky Ramirez, and I've known her for over 15 years. Producing Smoke, to me, was a necessity for Mixed Phoenix, because our mission statement is all about exploring the American identity and the evolving American identity, challenging stereotypes, and also bringing forth the Native heritage. So Smoke identifies all those areas. And to bring this play into the forefront of the popular culture and also the public eye meant a lot to me personally, and also to me bringing forth the mission statement of the company. So producing it, I've fallen into several different roles, not just producing it, but also front of the house, marketing, publicity, press, and continuing my role as an artistic director. So for me, this process has been twofold, a personal journey and a professional one.
What's the, how would you define being an artistic director as compared to a producer?
Well, an artistic director thinks about the scope of the company and the creative being of what the company is going to bring forth to the public. An artistic director also networks, continues to outreach, bringing audiences that may not be aware of the subject matter, bringing playwrights into the scope of the company, searching out venues, and always creating partnerships. Not only is partnerships and networking a part of the job, but also securing funds, fundraising, seeking out venues for that fundraising. We hold a benefit every year, and the benefit supports the company's administrative goals as well as the artistic goals. So whatever projects we have coming forth. Producing is project related. So for me, producing is much different than artistic director. However, I'm doing both jobs at the same time.
You're wearing many hats.
Yeah, I'm wearing a lot of hats, and I take a lot of pride in my job.
In addition to another hat, I think I don't know if you just said it a while ago, but you also acted in the play.
I did. I acted in the play. I was Karen Smoke many years ago, and I worked on a project that was produced by Amarinda and was shown at the Public Theater. So I personally have a relationship with the Public Theater through we're working on projects of other
You
theater
have
leads.
a very, very intense, many hats, many roles.
Yes.
This production company and yourself personally.
Yes.
And also in terms of being a native.
Yes, definitely.
Did you, when you grew up, did you find that, well, I think you told me this already in another conversation, but you didn't really stand out as a native because you were not invited to talk about that part of yourself as your identity. Is that correct?
Yes. My mother grew up in a time where showing your identity wasn't something that you shouldn't speak about. My mother actually was raised Catholic and not part of the longhouse, which is the traditional home that's structured in the play. But my father was raised Jewish, so my mother decided that she would raise my brother and I both Jewish and not talk so much about the native traditions. However, when I was 13, I went to yeshiva, and then my father said, "You better not tell anybody that you're Indian," because he wanted to protect us. He didn't want us to be outcast, which is interesting because Connie Farmer in the play is an outcast because she's Christian and not part of the longhouse. So when I was 14, I ended up going to the reservation for the first time. I found new family members I had never got to know. And
you found new family members on the reservation? How did you happen to do that?
I had never met them before.
So how did you know who they were?
Well, my mother took me.
Oh,
my
your mother
took you.
So she had knowledge of it.
Yes, yes.
Did she talk to you about those people a lot?
She did, but more like in a storytelling way. So a little bit of a distance.
It didn't make you feel like it's a real part of your life. She didn't want it, but now she takes you to the reservation.
Well, actually, I take my mother to the reservation.
You take her, I see.
So there was a little switcheroo that happened. When I went to college, I ended up graduating high school when I was 16. I went to a boarding school in Virginia, and I didn't have a chance to take my SATs because I was 16. I took my PSATs. So upon my PSATs, I got a scholarship. It was a minority scholarship to University of Minnesota. And I went to University of Minnesota at 16, and I was accepted as a full college student. But it was because I was a Native American. And then I learned more about Native culture. I really got involved with the American Indian Science Engineering Society, which I'm not a scientist, I'm not an engineer, but I thought, you know what, there is a place for me here. I could help build membership. And so I became a member of that organization. They thought I was organized, and then they just, nominated me into president.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice, it worked out well.
I know. So it worked out, but taking it back, I never experienced that on my growing up side. And my family were part of iron workers. My mother's brother, Danielle, was an iron worker. Her father was an iron worker. And my great-grandfather was an iron worker. So all part of New York. So I feel like this is my home, New York City.
So as a Mohawk,
Yes.
but you still would not be able to be part of the Longhouse.
Right.
That's correct, right?
That's correct.
That's right. I'm not going to ask you to explain it because we were talking about
Yes.
this before, and I'm getting a grip of it, but I think if you look at all the videos that we're going to have under this playlist named Theater on
Yes.
YouTube, you're going to get a sense of what it's all about. I think this will help the viewer get more of a sense also of the play when they see it.
May I mention a couple of films that Mohawk, a friend of mine who's a filmmaker, created? There's a film called Mohawk Girls, and also a film called Club Native that specifically talks about this struggle. And her name is Tracy Deer. It's done by the Canadian, National Film Board of Canada. National Film Board
Where
of
can
Canada.
one find these films?
If you go online and you punch in Club Native and Tracy Deer, you can find the film.
That's
and it'll be
D-E-E-R?
D-E-E-R, yes.
Okay.
And she's a cousin.
Oh, hey, why not
you know?
Family,
That's right.
That's good. Thank you so much for that information.
Yeah, sure.
That sounds very interesting to me. So I wanted to ask you also, what do you feel is like a message in school that the theater goers you would like to have them take away with them?
I would love for people to walk away with a sense of connection to the story, where they can identify with Connie and her plight of trying to find a home and a place. And if they can think of someone or themselves that has a struggle with identity, I would love for them to connect with me, because I feel that this story can communicate a sense of lost identity and finding of self in many different cultures.
It's a very, well, that relates to the last question I was going to ask you, because I think maybe it has answered it, because I was going to ask you what makes Smoke an important play.
Well, Smoke is an important play because it has a place in all of our hearts.
Yes, and I think you just answered that question, just why you felt that it was what was the message in Smoke.
It's part of American theater and should have a place in American history.
I have a feeling about that play that it will make that place, but that's my own bias. It's
Wow.
beautiful, wonderful.
We'll take that bias.
I like that bias. So I want to thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
Well, the company itself produces a fall reading series every year, looks for scripts, and if people go to our website, they can find a way to submit scripts.
Website
is www.mptg.org. And actually in spring, May 13th, we have a spring stage reading of a play called Utah by Sean Welch and directed by Colin Britt, and that's going to be at NOLA Studios. So it's a free stage reading, and in the fall those are free as well. That's kind of our outreach to bring in new people and to showcase new work.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's all.
We really covered a lot of ground here. I think in this very convenient hotel room that we have. We're very adaptive right here, because we were looking around for places, and here we are. They were very generous to lend us their space, because we were drained out of time and place to meet today. So here we are. So thank you, hotel. And,
thank you, hotel.
So we're going to sign out. What's the name of this hotel?
I was Travel In.
Travel In. We're in the Travel In. Believe it or not.
On 42nd Street.
That's right. So thank you, Travel In on 42nd Street. You get a little plug too. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for attending with me and speaking so eloquently about who you are and what your connection is with Smoke. You did such a terrific job. So thank you. And so this is Mark Sell. I'm going to sign off now for our YouTube channel, Therapy for the Heart. And if you like the channel, you can please press the like button, and that would make me happy. If you want to make me happy, press the like button. So, and I hope you enjoyed this, and please look at the other videos on the playlist, and by looking at them, the playlist of this Smoke, I think by looking at them, and then when you see the play, I think it will fill in some of the gaps for you.
Wasn't there a deal you were going to tell
the deal. Oh, yes. Just forgot about that deal. It is on the. It will be on there. But the deal is that if you, there'll be 4 free tickets at the Will Call desk in the Signature Theater on the 2nd floor. And if you mention Mark Sell at the Will Call desk on the 2nd floor, and you have to come 30 minutes in advance of the showtime, at least 30 minutes. But they can come before that, or it has
they
to be
can come before, and I'll be there.
But somebody may not be there because you don't start to open up
6 o'clock we open.
6. So they open it. We'll call desk 6. 6 o'clock they open, and you have to come by 6:30.
Yes.
And if you mention Mark Sell, that's me. They will give you one of the 4 tickets that they're offering for that night of the production. All right, that covered?
That covers it.
All right, so I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for watching.